to part 2 of episode 40 of Hack Attack. Thank you to John for providing some entertaining and some would say educational games during the break. But I will be stepping into the breach once more to play some more 3-minute games. And in the second half of the show, I am going to be attempting my old favourite of whatever happens, castle after my opponent and castle on the opposite side of the board. And I have my first challenge of the second half of the show against TheSuperSaiyan from the USA, rated 2079. Okay, E4, let's go E4. How am I going to build in some options for casting on opposite sides? Oh, my opponent's saying hello. Hey there. Always nice to just have a bit of chat with your opponent. My opponent seems to have some lag. I do hope that's not coming from our end. Okay, knight f3. What line has the best chance of making this work? Okay, I've not really tried this stuff before, but there's an interesting variation that goes knight f6, e5. So let me give this a whirl and see what happens. I don't know any theory about this, but hopefully neither will my opponents. I think knight c4 is the right move here. And then I just need a little cheapo like queen e2 and mate over there. Actually, that might not even be a bad move here. Because queen c7 is met with knight b5. e6 looks kind of weakening. Bishop h6 does allow me to prevent him castling. I don't know what that means for the state of the rules here, but now we can just run away with this knight and claim an advantage of sorts. So a rather unconventional start to this game. I think I'm gonna grab a pawn on c5, because a pawn's a pawn's a pawn's a pawn's a pawn's a pawn's a pawn, and I'm gonna have that. Knight back to c6, knight back to b3. This all seems rather sensible. Which honestly wasn't my intention, as you could tell from the opening few moves. How do we do crazy things here, guys? My opponent is saying oops, but I don't... Truth be told, I'm not certain how bad his position is. Now, most of the time I tell my students to control the centre, but it does seem like both of us are rather ignoring that so far, in favour of pushing pawns randomly at various points on the board. So let's carry on with that. Honestly, takes over here. I don't know, I think I've got a quite bad position here, really. I think I might need to castle queenside. It's actually... Oh, actually, how am I going to castle queenside if he takes on c1? Well, scrap that problem. I really wish I had a plan, guys. I like to be the man with a... Oh, he's even got bishop g3. I can hide my king on d1. Instead of castles on opposite sides of the board, it's neither side castling ever. So, there we go. How do I make use of this open H file? You know what? I think I might have to be the one to castle at some point. Bishop e3, castles queenside. Yeah. This is more like it. I do, after all, have this extra pawn. And I'm not above using that to win me the game. It's just I'd much rather deliver checkmate at some point. So we'll bear that in mind. I think this is still fairly legal. I am nervous about this position. A rook to c8, a knight to d5. I just want to mate him on the h-file. Okay, and there's the knight to d5. Well, I knew that was going to come. So we take that off. And then bishop takes c3, I've got knight takes e3. There's no mate on c2. But I am worried about everything here. I'm in a lot of trouble. Yeah, there's no real follow-up to that statement. I am in a lot of trouble. Okay, I'm going to play a move. And I'm going to see how much trouble I'm in again. So yeah, I was looking at variations like... Well, I was just basically having big trouble on c2. And, okay, at least I'm surviving for a bit here. Definition of surviving might need to be updated in a couple of moves. But for the moment, 4-6, 4-5, I'm still a pawn up. I mean, pawn... Oh, I'm not a queen up. Damn. Oh, for a second I was excited there, but I'm not a queen up. Does that mean I'm losing? Probably. Ah! Okay, right. 15 seconds. As John has no doubt told me at some point, I need to speed up. So let us see if that's going to be possible. Oh, he's got a lot of pieces on pre here, guys. Bishop takes e3, king takes... What? Ah, that was a good move. Don't play good moves when I've got 9 seconds left. What kind of inconsiderate person are you? In fact, I seem to be a pawn down after knight takes g2, rook takes c4. Will I make a comeback? 8.9 against whatever. Something. Something amount of time against more. Don't go bishop d5. If you go there, I'm going to go rook d4. Ah, don't play that move either. Or indeed any moves. Just don't make any moves and I'll be fine. King to somewhere. g5. Rook into e4. Take pawn off. King move somewhere. Rook up across. Ooh, leave rook on pre. Where's stalemate? Stalemate yourself. Put the king... It was stalemate! Apart from the king takes b3, it was stalemate. Gonna say good game. And the problem there was that that I didn't play very well. Now let's see if I can get a classical Dutch. After looking at John's game, I've been inspired by the classical Dutch. So just looking for a 1d4 from my opponent. Fingers crossed. Ah, he's just saying too much stuff on pre. Let's give the Sicilian a whirl. Don't want to allow any nasty French exchange. It's not because it's a good opening, just because it's dull. So I'm going to play... Our opponent's played the c3 Sicilian, so he's still tempting to be dull. But I'm gonna find the most interesting variation that I can against this. Probably involving an early d5 and then something. Have I left d5 too late? Maybe. Let's try a6 and b5. We're going to call this the delayed St. George's. Because I have no idea whether this is an actual thing. But it is a double fianchetto. Oh, I've just remembered that I'm castling queenside if he castles kingside here. Well, let's grab this pawn. A second game in a row that I've gone pawn grabbing. Oh, I haven't even won a pawn. Oh, well. I'll shut up in that case. How do pieces get developed? Queen a5? Yeah, that looks like a move. How am I going to castle queenside here? I don't know. Let me think. Ooh, I've moved a bit faster this time round. That's always a bit more promising. Bishop g5, h6. Maybe knight c6 coming fairly soon. Yeah, I don't know. Let's go g5. If he takes on b8, that's got to be in my favour. Although I won't be able to castle queenside, it's hopefully a sufficiently weird position I can get away with it. Okay, he's left a piece on pre... He's left a few pieces on pre here, but he's got this threat over on whatchamacallit, f7. So let's deal with that and play e6. And oh, can you tell that I maybe overlooked this move? It's okay, we're going to make a comeback here, guys. I mean, so long as he doesn't spot a knight d6 check. Knight d6 is probably the only particularly good move here. But unfortunately, my opponent's kind of spotted it. Well, we might be in some trouble. But on the plus side, there are a lot of pieces on pre here. Not all of them are mine. Does my opponent have a way of saving the piece? Yes. Bishop takes b4. And then if queen takes b7, then bishop takes e7 check picks up my queen. So we're forced into some variation like this. And now to take stock. Well, my assessment of this position is very, 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 very bad. But I'm not massively down on the clock. So we're going to make this comeback. We're gonna turn this one around, guys. There have been too many bad games where things have simply gone wrong. We're simply not going to accept it this time. We're gonna blitz out a recovery. Rook's going to come to b8. King's going to run to f6. What could go wrong? He says, praying. Okay, that could go wrong. Well, let's defend that. Now, don't deflect my knight from c6, because that would allow queen e7, mate. My opponent is down to 1 minute and 7 seconds, so we really have to be playing practically here. He's trying to go f4. I can tell. I can feel it. Panic. There's no good move. Queen takes e4 is a move. We're going to play it. It's a move and we're going to play it, guys. Knight d6 is a better move, and unfortunately he's played that. All right, we're gonna go full out off of the exchange of queens. Don't go queen f3 check, because okay, he's gone queen f3 check. I'm getting really good at predicting my opponent's moves. Don't play knight takes f7 check. Oh, he's got knight d4. Does that work? I mean, if it does, it's very clever. I'm going to play knight takes, because otherwise the rook was coming to e1. I'm down to 28 seconds against 45. I'm not all that much material down, but I might be getting mated. And by might, I mean I'm probably getting mated. Oh, it's mate. It's mate. Don't play rook takes f7, mate. Don't play rook takes f7, mate. That worked well. We're going to come back in this series if it's the last thing that I do. And looking at the clock, it might be the last thing I do. No, we've got plenty of time. Right, g3. G3 is the way that we will fight back. We're going to play a reverse hippo. Because the only thing that's more dangerous than a hippo is a hippo with an extra tempo. My opponent's played a very sedate reply to this. But don't worry, we're gonna lash out in the near future with an early h4. Little does my opponent realise how devastating this is going to be. And just watch the moves appear on the board at high velocity. h4. Knight moves somewhere. h5 moves somewhere. Other things happen, and then checkmate on h7. Well, you heard it here first. That's either definitely 100% going to happen in this game, or I'm going slightly crazy. My opponent's typing into the window. He said hippo, question mark. Yes. Don't know when I'm going to play h5, but definitely going to play it at some point. Knight h3. Possibly coming to f4 in the near future. Eyeing up the d5 pawn and then shoving with h5. This looks fun. Okay, now knight there is met with e5, so because the queen's covering d5. So I'm going to play f3, try and persuade him to take this off, Which way am I going to recapture? Probably with the bishop. Ooh, that move is fun. That move is fun. You think you can get away with this? Yes, you can get away with that, can't you? Okay, king f2. There were lines like pawn takes, queen takes g3, king f1, queen takes g3, which looked fun because I saw I was covering that, but then knight e3 check was coming in, and I was like, no thank you, I am not interested in that. Now, what were the good things in my position here? I'm trying to remember. A3 and c4, and I have some presence in the centre of the board. That seems to me to be a relatively sensible way of continuing. Let's cover getting mated on g3. Not 100% certain this worked out, guys. But oh well. Just gonna keep pushing some pawns until something good happens. Which admittedly may not be in this game, but I can't go 3-0 down. I might just be going 3-0 down. I've dropped that pawn. I don't know. I thought I was playing okay earlier, guys, but something appears to be going wrong. Oh, he had a lovely little tactic there with bishop takes d3, rook takes d3, queen takes b2, queen takes b2, knight takes d3, forking queen and rook. But now we have a much less interesting variation of this tactic where we just swap off some pieces. But I'm a little bit confused as to why my opponent has gone for this line. I feel like I'm okay again. I feel like I'm okay. Tell you what, if I do manage to go 3-2 in this series, what I'm going to do is I'm going to end with a little bit of 1 minute play. Just to change things up a little bit. Does seem that I am struggling a little bit more at the 3-minute time limit as this evening has gone on. But yeah, we will still attempt to recover this series and then mess around with some 1 minute, if that's okay with you. Please do let me know what you think. Tweeting to me at Tom Rendle. You can let us know in the chat, in the Chess.com TV chat. And anywhere else to my producer at Hong Kong John, to at Chess TV. Knight into f4, into e6, g5. We're going to finally make this h-file work for us, guys. g5, bishop h3, bishop e6, bish bash bosh. We are going to get this attack in the end if it kills us. Hoping it won't kill us. Let's take that off and go g5. And then knight g3. That knight's been annoying me for a long time. I have the 2 bishops here, guys. It's been ages since I had a proper 2 bishops game. Oh, my opponent is falling apart at the seams. And there we go. We have not quite equalised it, but we brought it back to a 2-1 deficit. Fantastic. And opponent says GG, GG. Do we have another game for my opponent? Yes, we do. And we're going to see if we can maintain this comeback in Game 4 against TheSuperSaiyan from America. What are we going to have here? If he goes E4, I'm going to play another French. But this time around, I'm going to try Classical Dutch. Is he going to play E4? Is he going to play C4, Knight F3? Let us see. Getting ready to play F5. He's saying Dutch. I'm saying maybe. Classical Dutch it is. You can't ask your opponents what openings they're going to play. It's disgraceful kind of behaviour. No, I'm joking. Of course you can. They don't have to answer. Don't do that over the board, but, you know, Chess.com is a very friendly place. A little bit of chatting, there's nothing wrong with that. And, yeah, so we do actually have a Classical Dutch. Now, let us see if we can actually make this queen e8 to h5 and mate on h2 work. Those of you who are watching John during the break will have seen me give a very instructive lesson on what you're supposed to do with your pieces. Unfortunately, I don't already have my pawn on e5, so it's going to be a little bit more difficult. But can we make it work? Against what he's currently playing, probably the answer is no. but we're gonna see what happens. Ooh, okay, this doesn't really work in this line. Queen b3 is annoying, and then he's going to play d takes e6 for exactly the same reason that the other guy should have taken en passant when he had the chance against John. Now then. Okay, I'm going to give up a pawn with knight d4 or knight g5, bishop d7. Bishop takes b7, rook there, but he's going to play c5, check d5, knight takes, c5 there, something. Okay, my position's bad. Bishop there, c5, d5. a3 is what I'm currently worrying about. I don't like my position anymore, guys. Let me play this move and hate... No, I don't like that. Let me play this move and hate my position. I always said the classical Dutch wasn't a good opening. How much trouble am I in after knight a6, queen takes there? I'm in some trouble. I'm in a lot of trouble, aren't I? What about knight here, queen takes there? I'm in a lot of trouble, aren't I? That's a shame. That's both of my knight moves. What about knight there, queen takes there? Knight, a lot of trouble in that position. There must be a move that doesn't lose an exchange here. I mean, play bishop takes and allow rook b8. Or knight c5, he's not going to do that. Well, he's played queen takes, which... oh, I can move my queen here to d7. No, I can't do that. Because of bishop c6. And then knight c5, and then queen takes a8, and then rook takes a8. Well, I'm not loving my position here. This is a short-lived comeback. Looks like I'm going to go down 3-1 and then play a bit of 1-minute chess. Not quite the result I was after here, guys, but we are going to fight on to the bitter end. We are not quitters on Hack Attack. Maybe I can play it positionally. The time situation is not going to be helping me very much here. Bishop back here, maybe, and... Oh, maybe if I play really, really quickly, I can make something work. But I don't have all that much faith. Maybe I can make c6 happen in a minute. King e6 and c6. It's not happening. Rook takes d6. Is that your clever idea? I mean, you're just showing off if you play that move. But there's nothing wrong with it. And then rook d7 and rook takes c7. I'm catching up on the clock. Not certain that's going to be enough to save me here. Bring the knight back. And go c6. Hope he doesn't notice I'm attacking his rook on g7. That didn't work. Running low on pieces here. And low on time. I imagine it's the time that will get me here. Not for the first time. Oh, there's a pawn back. Is it the start of an amazing comeback? I doubt it. But he is down to his last 30 seconds. Let's take that off. Bring that over there. Bring the bishop across. I am slowly catching up on the clock. Oh, that move is bad news. And mate is bad news in a minute. I am fighting on. Stalemate me. Oh, he won on time. I got him down to 2.9 seconds there, guys.